Well, hi, Stacey. Thank you for joining me today. You're running for school board in District 6, Greeley-Evans. Tell us about yourself and why you are running.
Yes, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to talk with you. I really appreciate it. My name is Stacey Casteel, and like you said, I'm running for school board in Greeley-Evans District 6. I am a mom of three children. Um, we are definitely taking advantage of the school of choice option. So we have a child in the district and a child at a charter school, at a private charter school, and then one of our children just moved to Texas. But our children, our two older children, have spent the majority of their lives in public school. I am an Air Force wife. My husband is currently serving in the Air Force. I work for a Fortune 500 company doing their capital expenditure billing and just working through um, their projects, a lot of their big projects, and handling the financial side of that. And I have a master's degree in business with an emphasis in accounting. I am a part of a handful of different committees in the area. I am a part of the Weld County Human Services Advisory Committee, as well as the Weld Faith Partnership Council. I am active in the Greeley West School Accountability Committee, and I regularly attend the District Accountability Committee. I would like to be on the board there. This year, they picked somebody who had been in I guess her children go to West for a while now. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to go on and see if I can pursue that. I'm sure though that, if I do get elected, that will not be an option, but I really like to be involved. I really like to be able to give my insight. I feel like I've had a variety of life experiences that just give me a truly unique perspective on a lot of different things. And currently, I feel like our school board could benefit from having some of these insights from me so that we can adequately represent all of the constituents inside the Greeley-Evans District 6 boundaries. I am running in hopes to help our children start to improve our testing scores. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm an advocate for testing. That's often a question that I get. I understand as a child who did not, I did struggle with testing. So I know that those are not always the most effective ways to truly gauge where students are at, but currently that is what the district is using, and those results are unacceptable. Our reading proficiency rates are at 30.9%, whereas our math proficiency rates are at 19.7. So that means only 30% and 19% respectively are capable of performing at their grade level. And so I want to be able to get in there and to have an understanding, like, why are we struggling so much? Oftentimes I hear, well, it's better than it was. And that is definitely, I can, as a community member who saw the district before my child was enrolled here, I can definitely say that there was major improvements, but we cannot stop here. We cannot be satisfied, and we cannot sit back and say, well, it's better than it was, because despite that, 30% and 19% are not, we cannot be okay with that. I also want parents to be able to feel like they are involved in the classroom and in decision making, that they are included and understanding curriculum and what is being taught and how it's being taught to the children. I feel like nobody knows their children better than the parents the majority of the time. And I think that we have an opportunity to have a great relationship between the community, the parents, and the district. And we need to be able to make sure that the parents are welcomed and are heard and are, communicated with clearly. I think a lot of the times when, anybody who goes on social media can see somebody goes to social media about frustrations that they have with the district. And I think the biggest reason that that's happening is not because it didn't get resolved the way that the parent wanted. It's more so that the parent didn't completely understand why these things are done this way, or what the problem is, or what is preventing it from, being resolved. An example I would like to use is social media. So, there's always some type of a school threat made on social media, unfortunately. But what most parents don't understand is, in order for the district security team or even the police departments, whether it's Greeley or Evans, before they can actually start acting on any threats made on social media, there's a lot of red tape that they have to go through, paperwork, just all of this stuff. And so, when they sit around on making a decision on notifying the community, or like saying it's I don't think enough people are understanding the process. And I feel like the district can definitely do a better job explaining some of that stuff, because the reality is that you're never going to make everybody happy, unfortunately. An example I'd like to use of this are snow days, right? Um, they call, school off for a day for snow, and then it doesn't snow as much, or it's, not as bad as they thought. And so then people are like, oh man, like, why did you cancel? Okay. But then on the flip side, if you don't cancel and then it's colder or snowier, or the buses broke down because of the cold, like, then you got people that are like, oh, can't believe you made the kids come to school. And it's, I understand that the district is doing the best that they can in terms of some of these, how can you truly adequately predict the weather, especially here in Colorado? Like, even the weathermen aren't very, um, perfect at predicting the weather, and we're trying to take this information. So I think if we can help explain to the community like what it is that's going on that is hindering this, or why they're taking so long, or why they aren't acting the way that they think they should. And then I really just want some transparency and accountability, at all levels. I know that a lot of people hear me say that and they think that I'm, mad at the teachers, or mad at the district, but I think we need it at multiple levels. I want more parents to be involved. Why are parents not becoming more involved? I think the students need to be accountable for doing their work, right? Adequately learning, being in class, not messing around and smoking in the bathroom, things of those natures. I think that, as well as their behavior, how they are sitting in class, are they being disruptive? A couple of summers ago at a summer geometry class, there was a student who was in class ordering food, like on the phone, and the teacher called on him and he was answering the question. He stops mid-answer, starts giving his order over his cell phone, and then says, hey, miss, do you want anything either? And, of course the kids laughed. And in the grand scheme of things, I would probably rather a student order food as opposed to stab another student. But it's just that whole, we need the kids to understand that this is their responsibility. Let's learn how to behave. Let's, find out when it's appropriate to order your lunch, or how, things of those sorts. And like I said, the parents being involved and having an understanding of what's going on. I think a lot of times it's easy to say, oh, it's okay, the school district's taking care of it. But we need to also be there and stand up for our kids as well, and help advocate to the teachers for our kids. Nobody knows our kids better than we ourselves do, like I keep saying. I know what works best for my kids in learning. I know, some of these things. The same way would be, I want the teacher to talk to me about struggles my kid is having in the classroom, as I need to be able to talk to the teachers about the struggles that my kids might be having at home as well, so that we can help all work together for the better of the student. And then I want accountability and transparency from the educators, and that, they're truly there to help educate the children, teaching the material that needs to be taught, keeping their, personal views and opinions about, maybe some political things aside. There's currently a flyer going around saying that if you vote for 3 other candidates, that's going to keep politics out of the classroom. And I'm not exactly sure what that means, that I want politics in the classroom, because I don't want politics in the classroom. I want the children to learn about how I want the children to learn the material that's going to help them improve, as opposed to help them become activists. An example that I would like to use is at high school in a history class, they had a teacher that was saying things like separation between church and state means you don't have to love Jesus and they can't arrest you for it. That's not even close to what it is. And so, is that your personal opinion? Was that something you were taught? Because we need to understand where that's coming from, because it's not true. That's not what it is. That's not even really what the interpretation of it, has evolved into per se. So making sure that they're working on that stuff.
Yeah, Stacey, so much of what you're saying, I'm hearing all across Colorado. It's this idea of restoring trust. The taxpayers seeing these really abysmal test scores and saying, hey, these schools have record money. They're getting so much money from the taxpayers. Where's that money going? Why aren't the kids performing well? You have distrust from the parents who feel so disconnected from the administration, school administrative staff, teachers, and saying, what are they doing behind these closed doors? What are they doing? What are they talking to my kids about? And I think you just brought up such a great point about communication and opening up that transparency, that dialogue with parents, with teachers, administration, with the school board, and really trying to restore that trust and effective communication in the community. I think that's so important.
Yes, yes. And I mean, exactly like you were talking about, we just passed the mill levy override, and people are like, oh, Stacey wants to roll back the MLO. What I want to do is sit down and look at it and to make sure that we are truly spending it the best way that we can. Something that I can think of is, we have programs like our JROTC program out of Northridge. They went to nationals for a shooting competition. They were doing amazing, and they don't have any type of uniforms. They don't have any type of way to identify themselves as the Greeley JROTC program. And so when they were there, they saw all these other schools that dumped all kinds of money into, track suits that were all matching and that stuff. And that truly took a psychological effect on our children, because they were like, oh man, like we don't look as cool as that. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that, how you look is really as big as or as important as like how you perform. But it's like, why don't we have the funding to provide them with something like that? How is it that we have the funding to do other things like go and stay down at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs for all board members for the CASB conference, and so that's okay. But, I would rather pay for my own hotel or not stay at the Broadmoor, something which, I understand the Broadmoor is because that's where the conference is held and such, but just to try to say, like, the kids are way more important than us. We need to be doing everything that we can to make these students be able to accelerate however they want to. I want to see kids, we have the CTE program that Dr. Deirdre Pilch went to university to get more education on so that she can turn around and implement it here at District 6. And I love that program. I think that's absolutely amazing. And so I want to be able to help the students, go that route. Same thing, with utilizing the IB program at Greeley-West and helping our kids who want to be academics, excellence right there, right, with the IB program. Like, how can we help these people? Are the kids interested in military? What is the best way, and how can we make them feel like they are capable of attaining their goals?
Stacey, I really appreciate your passion and your viewpoints on how to improve this quality of education for students in Greeley and Evans. How can people learn more about your campaign? How can they help you?
Yes, so I do have a Facebook group. It's called Stacey 4D6, and you can join that. And I have a lot of posts on there. I communicate with people there. I get a lot of questions. I have an open door policy. If you have any, no questions off limits. But also at the same time, be prepared that if I tell you that the question's, inappropriate or something, I'm not going to cower to people who try to paint me in a corner. kind of a situation. In addition to my Facebook page, I do have a website. It is www.stacey4d6.com. That's spelled STACEY and then 4FORD6.com.
Well, awesome, Stacey. Well, I know you're busy. I'll let you get back on the campaign trail
Thank
there, but
you.
really appreciate you taking the time today. And I hope that the voters and the people in your district have a good response.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great day, Brandon.
All right, take care.
Bye.